Hello everybody and welcome back. We are back with some more Legacy. Apologies for the delays on this one. I was feeling a little under the weather. Starting Thursday night and through the weekend, we're okay now. We're alive. So, we are still working our way through the Manatraders qualifying rounds, and I kind of came to the conclusion at the end of last stream that maybe Blue-White Blade is not where I want to be right now. After some thinking, but not too much thinking, we just decided we're going to play Omni instead. So this is the same Blue-White OmniTell list we played back at the end of March, which is to say, with Orm's Chance, Teferis, the whole Venser, Emrakul, Caracas shenanigans, Cunning Wish, Show and Tell, Solve the Equation, the whole shebang. So this should look pretty familiar. You're going to see in our sideboard still Orm's Chant, 3 Plows, 2 Rest in Peace, 2 Fluster Storms, an Echoing Truth, a Trick Bind, an Intuition, a Sublime Epiphany, a Shared Summons, and a couple of Meddling Mages. So, nothing too crazy here. Again, game plan, Show and Tell puts in Omniscience, then we cast any number of random shenanigans cards to dig through our deck to either find a Cunning Wish, which gets us a Shared Summons, or just straight up put in a Traxo or Emrakul into play and probably win the game from there. So, that is the game plan. We're going to use Force of Will, Teferi, Orm's Chant, and Friends to go ahead and protect our combo. We have a couple of Lotus Petals and a couple of Ancient Dooms to make us a little faster, so that sometimes we can just get them on turn 1. And then we have things like, again, the Caracas that not only will bounce our Venser, Emrakul, and Atraxa, but also their random annoying legendary hate bears like Thalia. The Meddling Mages on the side are nods to other combo decks that rely on specific pieces to win the game. We're going to try to shut them out that way. Good luck, TES, winning when I tell you you can't cast Burning Wish or Tendrils. So that's all dope. Yeah. So without too much further ado, we're just going to dive right in here and see what we can get started. Again, remember, we are playing the Manatraders qualifying rounds. So what we're going to do is go ahead and fire up our friend, the matchmaking software, and see what we can do here. Thank you. We're going to try our best. Thank you for joining. All right. So I love that the Manatraders pairing system tells you how long you've been waiting, like it actually cares. They don't do anything with that. They're just like, this is how long you've been here. Alright. The Manland is our opponent. So, turn to practice. Opponent is the Manland. They will be creating the match, sitting waiting for us. We found them. Didn't check to make sure our deck was right. We'll find out here in a moment, I suppose. It is Mulligan. Keep. Ship the Teferi. Grab Island, cast Ponder. gonna just shuffle this. Sure, we found bonus show and tell. Okay. If we find Omni in a land, I feel like we're in okay shape. Flooded Strand. For basic island, Lotus Petal, sure. Ponder, okay. This feels like we could be mirroring here. This definitely feels like we're mirroring. Yeah. How about that one? That one good? Opponent has conceded the game. Love that for us. Chant, Fluster, Fluster, Meddling Mages. Less interested in Teferi. Cut a Preordain. Actually, I'm gonna cut Petals. Get Teferi back. Just take my Preordain back.
Turn off bathroom lights.
This is interesting. So we could cut Teferis entirely and just try to play entirely on the stack. They're gonna have red blasts and stuff. Yeah, Chant feels good. This all feels fine. This has no land. Nope, this has a Seagate Restoration. One is on Sneak and Show. Sure. go ahead with this Seagate. I'm gonna hold up Fluster here just because I want to be able to beat their garbage. That's fine. Alright. One has a Delta. Brainstorm and end step. Blast me. Go for it. Blast. Yikes. Solve. Chant. Draw chant. Ponder? Okay. Fetch, get Tundra. Show and tell? Blast it, okay. They're gonna brainstorm. I was probably just supposed to be patient there. If I draw another mana, I can chant first. Okay, they got nothing. Draw the Emrakul anyway. Okay. End step impulse. Grab show and tell. Chant you. Five mana Force of Will. patient here. Next turn I can just do it with Flusterback. Yes. Put in Omni. Cool. Show. Omni. Traxa. Emrakul, this, Caracas, Force. We did the thing. Confirmed Omni bullies other show and tell decks. Connor, proud of you. Was didn't take you too long. What's the deck? Figured it out. Got there. So that is us 1-0 tonight with blue-white Omni in Manatraders qualifying rounds. We currently need 12 more wins. Let's fire off the next one. Connor, because I missed that when it actually happened, how long did it actually take you? Because I want to bet the answer is seconds. Yeah, that sounds about right. Literal seconds. There we go. There we go. Got it. All right. We are looking for Stephanox. All right. Okay, we won the die roll yet again. Love that for us. We will in fact play first. Yeah, Connor, untap cast show and tell usually does signal some things. They're on Yorian. Okay, love that for us. Well, there's Show and Emrakul. I don't actually need either of these things, though. I just really, need an Omni, which we found, and another land. Opponent said, have fun in chat. I said, you too. Oh, okay. So they're on a blue deck. So they're on blue Zenith. We do have to respect that their deck contains actual impactful Magic the Gathering cards. Okay. We're gonna ponder here. Yo. Fetch here. I have a Teferi. What do you have? Is it a Force of Will? resolves. Green? Mm-hmm. Coatl resolves. Also, we have all the cards to play this the safe way, so I'm going to do that. Put it in show and tell. Or put it in omniscience. Solve the equation. Cunning Wish. Cast Cunning Wish. Yup. Shared Summons. Shared Summons. Emrakul Venser. Good talk. We did the thing. Fluster. Cut petals. Take another chant here. Sure, seems fine. Opponent could have op agent. I may want these plows, but we'll find out. Opposition Agent would be a card that our deck is not particularly happy about seeing, given that we're playing Solve the Equation and a bunch of fetch lands. All right. Okay, let's fire off another one here. This one gets a little harder. This is not spectacular, but it's like fine. I'll keep this. Snow-covered forest, carpet of flowers, sure. out the Omni. Opponent gets a bonus mana, which is fine. Also, fun fact, blue players, you do not need to force of will every carpet of flowers you see. This one is pretty meaningless. Sure. All these cards aren't doing anything. I would much rather fight over stuff that matters. Green, green. Sure. Chant you? No. We're just gonna sit here and let opponent do what they do. Blue. Mm-hmm. Put your into hand. Taiga, sure. The red that I expected, which is why these chants looked good. Naked Yorian. Ponder. Can't you? Force pitch force. Show. And Pyroblast. Okay. That means the rest of their hand, they had no other hand. They're just trying to beat down with a naked Yorion. Impulse. Ponder. Ponder. My Caracas. Their Yorion is now of very little value. Recast their Yorion, sure. Blasted my Brainstorm, okay. Three blue, three green, Uro, sure. Return their Uro. Not quite sure why, but I guess. Cast again, sure. They drew a bunch of cards there, which is pretty good for them. We just Caracas their Yorion here and then Caracas their Uro. On the random off chance this is a Leovold. Is it a Leovold? Show me your random 3-drop. Oh, it's grist. That makes sense. It's also beatable.
You ever have it where, like, I realize how drunk you are and everything, but touch you, they just. Yep, kinda right there.
Okay.
Still not too drunk to go to things, but definitely recommend it.
7 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then instead of, putting it off.
Surgical show and tell. Resolves. We're on the cast this Omni plan. Got my pedals right. It did. Casting this Omni's a little harder, but doable. They're going to activate this grist twice, which I hate. Not, I guess not twice, but can reset that grist if they're so inclined. Go through their carpets. They have an arrow. It's a weird place to fetch, but okay. Grist. Oh, there's a wasteland. They do have those. Neat.
Oh shit, I forgot you were on the way too. How far are you? Oh. Alright, well. I'm just gonna need to go then. Basically.
This trigger has targeted nothing? Token will get to attack. Bounce this.
No, I think there's still.
Bounce this. That one hurts a little bit. Them getting value off this Yorion actually come into play is kind of painful. Endurance. Target me. That's actively fine.
Bedroom lights.
Urian's also fine. Blinking exactly abundant growth. Take 2.
Oh, this is
Cast Cunning Wish. What opponent? My Cunning Wish board doesn't just kill you. It does all sorts of cool things. I could take... try to Intuition for mana, that sucks.
I'll be back at some point tonight.
Sounds good. See you later. Alright. So... I got all sorts of cool stuff going. What's opponent got going? Not a whole lot anything. Sure, fine. Grist token. I'll take 2, 3. Earl comes in. Looking Underbound Adventure. Yeah, that's probably where we're dead. Maybe my wish board should contain a Settle the Wreckage. I don't actually hate that. Saying it out loud. This is the Yorion. Blinking the Undermount Adventure. Pretty sure we're just dead. can't generate enough mana in this turn cycle to cast this Omni. And I would have to cast and resolve Omni in order to do anything. Okay, we're down 1. To that end, I don't have a ton of blasts. I guess I just need to like stick it to fairy. This feels ultimately fine. I'm gonna shave a preordain in favor of this other fluster. I'm gonna shave impulse because I can find impulse off of Cunning Wish if I have to. Maybe that's the better move. Alright. Let's try this instead. These pedals don't feel too bad because opponent's kind of clunky. Opponent's on like 30,000 pieces of permission because otherwise they can't find any of them. I also need to be careful about what I put in my graveyard because opponent had the surgical last game, so we know that's the thing they have access to. We'll play first. Playing first feels good for me. Gonna keep this. I have enough of what I'm looking for here. I'm gonna top both of these. Both of these are particularly good. Misty fetches Taiga. Noble Hierarch, sure. Ponder. This is me just wanting all of these things? Noble beats? No noble beats, okay. Oh. Okay, I love that for us. Waddle's just gonna resolve. Ponder, sure. The way they keep leaving this, they have the red blast. Take beats for 2. I just need to find a wish or a solve or something, and then I win. It's hard to find a world in which I don't win with a hand like this. Mailman, hello and welcome. Didn't even see you sneak in. Glad to see you, buddy. This Taiga screaming red blast while our Orms chants like, bro, hold my beer. Fetch. Island. Fetch. Island. Okay. Chant you. Show Omni. Cunning Wish. Yup. Shared summons. Shared summons. Emmerich. Yeah, let's go! Okay. Well, there's 2 in the books. That's a good start for us. Alright, only 11 more wins to go, friends. Let's dig our way out of this hole that Blue White Blade put us in. See, I knew that we needed to play Tundra in our deck. I just picked the wrong Tundra deck. It's fine. To anyone who is just joining the channel for the first time, hello, welcome. My name is Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan. On the channel tonight, we are playing Manatraders qualifying rounds, and we are playing Blue Light OmniTell. Game plan here, cast Show and Tell, put in Omniscience, win game. How do we win the game? Oh, you know, Emrakul attracts a Cunning Wish, which finds us shared summons. If we get to go that route, we get to get shared Emrakul and Venser Shaper Savant to take 2 turns and make sure we kill our opponent with our Emrakul. It's pretty great. Big fan. Surround that all with Orm's Chants, Force of Wills, a bunch of cantrips, some Teferi Time Ravelers, and we're just here to have a party. When I say we, I mean me. Everyone else, like, they gotta find their own fun. I'm here to capitalize on all of that. Oh. Miss Trigger. Love that. So good. Alright. Again, I do appreciate everyone for hanging out tonight. A lot of ways you could choose to spend your Thursday evening. I'm grateful you chose to hang out with me. Yes, it is Thursday and we are playing Legacy. That is because I was feeling unwell early this week, so unfortunately our streams got kind of moved around. So this will be the one and only stream for the week. But I do appreciate everyone coming to hang out for it. If any of you are in the Grand Rapids area, I and my partner will be at Pride at Calder Plaza this weekend. If you see us out and about, please feel free to come say hello. See, okay, so yes, both players get to do a thing. The thing is that we're not playing Show and Tell because it's symmetrical. We're playing Show and Tell because we have 10 mana enchantments in our deck that say we win the game. As witnessed when the time we put in our Omni, we cast the stupid solve the equation to get a second copy of Cunning Wish, because that way, if they had anything that disrupted us, we Cunning Wish for Sublime Epiphany the first time around. Alright, we are creating the match, waiting for MSS Kinbolic. Creates 2 players, allow watchers. Anyone can join. Creates. Alright. We won the die roll yet again. We'd love to play first. Yes. Easy keep. We're just looking for lands, friends. We're just looking for lands. I'm gonna bottom one of those so I don't have to draw through both. Gonna feel like an absolute genius here if we just draw Ancient Tomb off the top. Till our opponent's on Delver. Yuck. Preordain again. Daze me. Can confirm opponent has Force of Will. All's fine. Sick. Chant. Fluster. Cut a couple to fairies. This card's just really clunky in the matchup. It's very good, but very clunky. Oh. Not really interested in Plow right now. I would much rather have Plow when their creatures actually stop us from killing them. This is Delver. They will try to surgical us, so we have to keep that in mind. Things like intuition lines are bad. Also, the only reason I forced that the way that I did, they were holding up a mana, and when they didn't actively choose to use the 1 mana like Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm, Red Blast kind of card first, that said to me that Force was probably the best counter spell they had in hand. So I was just going to kind of go in on that. This is not great, but fine. Keep. This finds us the show and tell. Play around days as we can. It's free to do so. Gonna fetch now. Show me the Pyroblast, but no red mana. This is even better. I just get to play around everything forever. God, I love that for us. Solve the equation. Get show and tell. Bobble, yep. Still no red mana for that blast. They had a force. Luckily for us, it was force of negation, so they can't force and then fire off the thing. Take 3. Wasteland's fine. They had Pierce. Brainstorm should find them the red mana for this blast, which means we're probably not winning this game. It did. Four, 5, 6. That doesn't do it. Died a dollar. Sideboarding. Nothing here that I want to be doing differently. Seems fine. Again, their creatures don't actively stop me from winning the game, so I don't necessarily want to worry about plows and shit. I'd rather have more interaction to fight over their stuff. Like, Teferi is kind of good because Teferi, like, shuts off all their interaction. The problem with that is that Teferi costs 3 mana and is blue, which means that Red Blast is just, like, extra good against it, as is Daze. Also, our 1 lone 2 drop here in this random 1 impulse. I am playing first. This has Solve, this has Cantrips, this has Cunning Wish, and keeping it. This, Petal. Preordain. Get these petals out around Daze. Lets me play around Daze for basically the entire game this way. Delver's in. Found another solve. I can solve for show and then ponder for... I guess I'm gonna ponder first. Basic, preordain. His hand is just exactly where it was. What I can do here over time is solve for show and tell, solve for chant. I'll need one more mana over the course of this whole debacle to get there, but like we can get there. Misty, sure. Darcy, sure. Fetch, yup. Bauble? Ponder, okay. Okay, we'll take one from your Delver. Ponder. Okay. No. Dracus. Solve. Solve for show. They had the Wasteland, okay. This does make life harder. They're not attacking for much here, which is good for us. Of course, we find another show. Such is the tradition with this deck. You have one show and tell in hand, all of a sudden the others appear. That sucks. Especially because opponent held up that walk the entire last turn. Solve. Chant. Sure. Red card. Another Darcy, sure. So here's the $1,000,000 question. Does it really matter that much if I show this turn? Like, I know show's not resolve and they have force of will. The question is, do I also think that they have surgical? I think I should just wait. This is 5. Shit. That's the one that kills us. Oh, especially because I put a Murktide in the yard. Yuck. Okay, well, we lost one. Of course, it's Delver. Everyone stay tuned. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab myself a glass of water, and then we can continue this and see if we can keep winning our way out. Stay tuned, everyone. I will be right back. Alright, thank you for holding out, everybody. Sorry about that. I needed a glass of water, but what we're going to do is go ahead and fire off one more here tonight and see if we can go ahead and find our way into one more win. Again, I do appreciate everyone hanging out tonight. A lot of ways you can choose to spend your Thursday evening. I'm grateful you have chosen to hang out with me. That's our hope. One more here. So, I will flash this on screen real quick. Due to this date being the cutoff for the Manatraders qualifying rounds, that means I am quite likely to be playing the rest of the qualifying rounds off stream. So, what we will do is, for all of you out there watching this, I will play the rest of my qualifying rounds probably sometime over the weekend. And then once those are done, if we queue for the Swiss, I will post on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube communities. That's right, YouTube folks. I've started remembering that that is a thing that exists. Don't worry, I got you. So I will start posting there if we qualify. If we don't qualify, I will also make a post letting folks know that unfortunately we did not quite make it and will be doing something else with our time. But as it sits right now, we have the... Please, thank you. We have the rest of... We have until next Tuesday to qualify. So 5 more days. And then at the end of that, if we qualify, we go into the Swiss rounds on the 24th, and then the top 8 on the 25th. So our game plan is to make Swiss rounds at the very least. I would love to make top 8, but we're not going to bank on anything. We got off to a rough start with this one. For anyone who missed the earlier rounds, we were playing Blue-White Blade featuring Sword of Once and Future. It's cool. I like this deck a lot. I'll probably be iterating more on this at a later date. However, it just didn't really work out for Manatraders. We kind of got dumpstered over and over and over again. I think this is just not quite powerful enough for what people are doing for the Manatraders series. So instead, we are playing Blue-White OmniTell, this other Tundra deck with a bunch of cantrips, but this one kills people very quickly. We do a whole lot of nothing for a whole long time, and then our opponents die. It's pretty great. So, I guess because I did see some new names out there hanging out. Yes, for all of you who watch on Twitch, I pay very, very close attention to the viewers list. I know who is regular, and I know who is new. So, if you are new here, again, hello, welcome. I am Adam from Grand Rapids, Michigan. On this channel, we play primarily a bunch of Eternal Magic, meaning Legacy, Vintage, occasionally some Pauper and Cube, things like that. I am what one might call a Tundra aficionado. That means if I can play Plains Island in a deck, I'm probably doing it. That has extended to all sorts of various things. Stone Blade. This was a thing that we were trying out for a while. This is Blue-White Blade, or Blue-White Vial. So this is a Death and Taxes style-ish Aether Vial deck, featuring a bunch of blue-white creatures that are particularly annoying and standstill. The reason that works is because we have Urza Saga to fetch our Aether Vials, and then we play a standstill, and we just play all of our things, and our opponents get sad and cry. I love that for us. Yes, big fan of Tundra. So you will see that in a lot of things. For those of you who follow the channel for Vintage content, don't worry, Vintage will be back on the channel here shortly. Given that Manatraders was Legacy this month, it was time to put some effort into that. But we do, in fact, play Vintage on this channel as well. And when it loads, we're a big fan of Tundra in that format too. I've been playing a lot of Esper Tinker, as you can see, Esper PO. We like us a Tundra deck. So, if, again, you are someone that is into Eternal Magic and you have just discovered the stream for the first time, please feel free to stick around. Like, follow, subscribe, all of those things. YouTube folks, seriously, please leave comments. I do respond to those. Some of you out there who watch my videos know, I am fairly on top of my comment sections. So if you have feedback, questions, whatever it might be, please feel free to leave comments. It helps me to understand what you want to know, want to see, like to see, things like that. But also, us chatting means that more people get to discover this. And I would love to see a bunch of you going at each other in the comment section about some of my just absolutely atrocious misplays and other various shenanigans. So please, 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 YouTube folks, always feel free to leave comments. I do absolutely respond to every one of those. At least every one that is something that actually I have the ability to respond to. All right. And I see that a friend has just gone live, so we will likely be rating a non-magic streamer once this is done, if I can remember how raids work. Because Twitch is hard, yo. But for those of you, in fact, what are they playing tonight? Oh, they're playing Diablo 4. So if you are a fan of the Diablo series, stay tuned after the stream, as we will be rating friend of the stream, Inspecta, who is currently playing some Diablo 4. For anyone curious, yes, I will probably play Diablo 4 on the stream at some point. I have yet to pick up the game, as there were some other things that were a little more pressing in my personal life. But don't worry, I will be picking up Diablo 4 at some point, and I will be playing because I am a big fan of the Diablo series. Eight minutes in queue, yikes. Come on, Manatraders, you gotta have somebody you can pair me against. Sprout's doing pretty okay. Hey, Slasher's at 13th. Dope. Okay. Opponent is Clandis. Perfect. Chroma? Chroma, Angel of Wrath. Dope. This hand's clunky. Mulligan? This has show. Sure, we can solve for... Yuck, this is atrocious. I think Chant goes back. Bonus points if we can draw a non... Okay, I guess that works. Freak our opponent out here for a minute. We played around it. Sylvan Library. Sylvan Library, Wasteland, Trop. What a wild deck. Cunning Wish, Force, just take this island. Chance, like, okay, but Brainstorm is fine. I don't... Sure. I wish he wouldn't. Do you have a reanimate? Hate that for me. It's like Bug Shadow? No, if it was Shadow it wouldn't be. Yeah, that tracks. You take the show there. Preordain. Take Emrakul. I have a suspicion that the random Sylvan Library Grief Reanimate deck can't beat a Naked Emrakul. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have a suspicion. You should be paying 8 more aggressively. Witherbloom Command. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Target player mills top 3. Target player mills 3 cards and you return a land from your graveyard. Okay. They have milled 3. Sure. Don't really care about that. Ponder. This. Delta. Show. No. Okay. I was wrong. They can in fact beat this Emrakul. They just have main deck Sheoldred's Edict. Grist is fine. Oh, that doesn't matter at all. Love that for me. Draw Omni, win game. Whee! It's a big spaghetti monster. Yup. We've won this game. Yeah, we just had to find Omni. That was all that mattered. It was like find Omni, win game. Cool. Chant, fluster. Don't really need these pedals. Cut a preordain. Seems dope. Drop, ponder, sure. Fetch is fine. if they take the Atraxa here, I'm gonna... Okay, cool. So if they take the Atraxa, I'm just gonna go ahead and fire off the chant. Okay. Yeah, I mean... Take chant, sure.
I was talking to your dog. She's such a cutie.
Sir, okay. I don't... Sequencing is wild here, but alright. Get to 10 mana cast omniscience. Understood. 3, 4, 5, 6. Opponent has just spewed cards. Cunning Wish can answer this grief. The first Cunning Wish we find, that is. Yup, okay. Need to play Leyline of Sanctity in this deck, it's just kind of getting annoying. Drew another Omni anyway, look at us go. We're not likely to have time to use them, but... It's not a thing I particularly care about. It's not really what's going to make or break this game. These are the kind of draws. Now Echoing Truth is the good one. We just Cunning Wish for Echoing Truth and green, green, 1, 2. Get back Uro. Omni, you knew that I needed you, but, like, come on. Alright, we're trying again. Is Meddling Mage starting to look better? Does Meddling Mage grief or reanimate? I'm gonna do that. Just because bullying their discard spells feels like it's actively good for me. Ponder's fine. It says Cunning Wish. It has 3 lands. It has Fluster, Force, and Brainstorm. Feels like the kind of hand we're looking for. No. Also, no. Stop it. Go away. Seagate Restoration, okay. That's a card that has words on it. Their Brainstorm resolves. This where I'm going to find out they were Chain of Smog combo the whole time. Sure. Okay. Solve gets us a show. Yeah, sure. Ponder. Battling damage, show and tell, force of will. Don't shuffle. God damn it. Leave my shit alone. Mill the show and tell. Wasteland, sure. Another grief. What do I got in my sideboard? None of this matters. It took the force, okay. Wish, yes. Get, fuck what, intuition? Okay. Delta. Fetch. Sure. I get Emrakul. Nope. Show and tell, show and tell, show and tell. Show and tell. Put it on me. Cunning Wish. Yup. Shared summons. Shared summons. Emrakul, Venser. Dawn. Opponent said, if I win this game, I'd be qualified. Just one counter shows up. Sad, GG's. I said, working on qualifying myself. Good luck. Well, there we go. We lost one match tonight to Delver, and I think it was actually kind of close. So we take those. So, with that being where we're at, that means that currently I need to win 9 more matches sometime within the next 5 days. So, what will be going on, everyone, is, again, I will be playing my remaining matches off camera. So please stay tuned to Twitter, the YouTube communities tab, things like that, where I will be posting if we qualify. I will play games over the coming days and go ahead and do that. But for right now, look at us go, everybody. 9 more to go, and we're winning our way out. Hell yeah. But that is it for me for the evening, everyone. I hope that you all had a fantastic time. I will see you all again next week. Stay tuned to Twitter for Twitter, YouTube, communities tab, all that kind of stuff for the schedule, as I gotta figure all that stuff out yet. But you all have a fantastic night and a fantastic weekend. And again, if you are in the Grand Rapids area and going to be at Pride this weekend and you see me, please feel free to come say hello. Have a good night, everybody. Cheers.